A very good morning, everyone. Today, in continuation to our practice book unit 7, we are going to continue the last exercise of this unit. But before that, we are going to talk about voice. Those are active and passive voice. This is the concept you are doing first time, and in detail you will be doing it in the next class. So let's see what is active and passive voice. Look at the examples given over here. First sentence is Ricky cleans the garden, and just next to it the similar kind of sentence is written. Let's see what is the difference. The garden is cleaned by Ricky. Both the sentences are having the same meaning, right? In the first one Ricky जो है garden clean करता है. In the other sentence garden clean होता है Ricky के द्वारा. Only the way of writing is different. And what is the difference? You can see in the first sentence Ricky is the subject, whereas in the second sentence the garden is the subject. In the first sentence the garden is object, whereas Ricky is the object in the second sentence. So what is the difference between the two? In the first one, the subject is active. Ricky is doing the work, he is active, whereas in the second one, object is active, right? So when the subject is active in the sentence, it is doing the work, it is shown over there, then it is called active voice. Whereas in the sentence where the object is active doing the work and the action is received by the subject, whereas the subject is not showing any action, it means that this sentence is written or the verb is written in the passive voice. You can see the next two sentences also. He removed the weeds. Weeds are the extra plants unnecessarily which grow in a pot or wherever we are growing some whatever we are willing to grow. और साथ में जो extra plants अपने आप से grow हो जाते हैं which we don't require, those are called weeds. So he removed the weeds. The weeds were removed by him. Third sentence, he is watering the plants, and the next one is the plants are being watered by him. Now you can see that all these three sentences where the subject is active, those are called to be written in active voice. Whereas the sentences where the subject is not active, whereas the object is active, those sentences are called passive voice, written in passive voice. Now look at the next one more example in detail. Arushi teaches Rahul. Here you can see subject doing the action, verb is teaches, and object receiving the action. Okay, Rahul is receiving the action. So here this sentence is given in simple present tense. Now look at the sentence. This one is in active voice. Let's see the same sentence in passive voice. Rahul is taught by Arushi. This is also in present tense, but it is given in passive voice, where the subject is receiving the action and object is doing the action. And how the verbs have been used, just see. Is taught, it means it is the form of be. Be is a verb which has got different forms. We will discuss them just now. Just look at this sentence first. Is and taught is V3, third form of the verb, which is also called past participle of verb. Correct? So in passive voice, main action word is in third form, and along with that be is used. This is the way of writing the verb in passive voice. Okay, so we have done all the tenses, but those were in active voice. But we come across with the passive voice sentences also. So we should also have the knowledge of using verbs in passive voice also. Correct? Now look at the next one. When the subject is the doer of the action or the verb is in the active voice. Whereas when the subject is the receiver of the action or the verb is said to be in passive voice. Now look at the verb be. It has 8 different forms. 8 different forms depending on the subject. We have to use them in the sentences whenever we are using it passive voice. Correct? So these are be, am, is, are, was, were, being, been. Now come to our practice book unit 7. Last exercise, that is integrated tense practice. What do you mean by integrated? Integrated means mixed. Mixed tenses have to be used in this paragraph, and we have to be very much particular that which sentence should be in which tense, and also we have to remember if it is in passive voice, how we are going to use the verbs. Correct? So look at the first one. Sunday, as everyone knows, is named after the sun. This is in simple present tense active voice, so that's why knows has to be used. Then which is worshipped all over the world. Here this is in passive voice, that's why worshipped is V3. Along with that, the form of be has to be used. This is in simple present tense itself, but in passive voice. So that's why we have to remember that we have to use be and V3 along with it. Correct? Then next one is Monday is named after the moon. This is simple present tense. Monday का नाम कहाँ से पड़ा? Moon से पड़ा. The moon may have been worshipped on this day in ancient days. This particular sentence is in passive voice. That's why we have to use the form of be and V3, that is worshipped. Next is Tuesday is named after tin. Tuesday का नाम कहाँ से पड़ा? Tin. The god who has only one hand. This is in simple present tense, so that's why has to be used. कि जिनका क्या है? एक ही हाथ है. Had lost the other while capturing a terrible wolf. Now this particular event happened in past. So we are going to use past perfect tense, and for that lost is already given. We have to just put had before it. Next one is Wednesday is named after Woden and Thursday after Thor. Thor, who was very strong, had a simple way of solving problems. Now next part is he killed anyone who had gone near him at that time. Now in this particular sentence, you are watching that there are two events happening. Two verbs have to be used. Whenever we are having two events in past, two events happening in past in single sentence, so we have to see which event happened first. We have to use past perfect tense with that, and which happened later we have to use simple past tense. So that's why killed simple past tense, had gone past perfect tense. Next part is Friday is named after Thor's mother Frigga, and Saturday takes its name from Saturn. It is simple present tense is there and in active voice, so that's why takes has to be written. Now come to the second part of it. What we have to do, we have to fill with correct verbs. Here no verbs have been given, we have to think ourselves only. And this paragraph is about Mount Kanchenjunga, which is located in Sikkim. So let's see what is given. Mount Kanchenjunga is a mountain peak in Himalayan range. It is the third highest peak in the world and is worshipped as a deity of Sikkim. Is worshipped as a deity of Sikkim. Deity means goddess. Okay? And is worshipped, it shows that it is, this part of the sentence is in passive voice. So that's why we have to use be and V3. So this is worshipped is the third form of the verb. Correct? This peak measures to a height of 8,598 meters. This is given in simple present tense, so that's why we have to use measures. Next part is and was first scaled in 1955 by British team. Now this part is in passive voice, so that's why be and V3. V3 is already given scaled, and we have to use because it happened in past. So this will be in the simple past tense, and we have to use was with it. But now some people are objecting. This is now they are objecting. So it means it is in present continuous tense. Objecting is given. We have to just add are with it. To the fact that so many people failed to climb the mountain peak. Now here this part is in simple past tense कि बहुत सारे लोग fail हो गए इस पे चढ़ने के लिए. So simple past tense failed, we have to use. They think. We can also write even believe also. They think or believe that just as no one climbs the statue of any god, in the same way, no one should climb Mount Kanchenjunga. This is in simple present tense, so that's why we have to use think or believe. By climbing the peak, people are insulting it. This is in present continuous tense. Insulting is given, we have to just add are according to the subject given over here. So in this way we have to complete it. That is the end of today's work. Have a nice day and thank you.